So I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. And that exercise is actually a bit of a precursor to some of the work that we're going to be doing, which is around awareness, around self-awareness and understanding ourselves as entrepreneurs and business women mostly and businessmen, and really taking a look at what our beliefs and our mindset is around managing our business and business owners. Oftentimes we see with entrepreneurs that and necessarily it can be like a shift from a hobby or like a side gig type of a business where maybe you don't take things as seriously, or you might be on the fence in terms of your commitment, or you may just not simply see yourself as an entrepreneur or as a business person. And I want to say to everyone in this room, in this virtual room, that you all are entrepreneurs. You all are business people, and you have all of the tools at your disposal to do whatever you want with your business. We are not here to tell you how to run your business. We're here to give you choices and to expand your tool chest. If you want to grow your business, great. We can help you with marketing. We can, help you with your finances. If you want to, if you have other goals, if you want to, really invest in retirement and really take a look at your taxes, we can help you with that. So our role is not like the teacher at the head of the room telling you what to do or what we think you should do, or even necessarily giving advice, because you all have the tools that you need at your disposal. It's making the commitment, and the decision is the most important step that you can take on your journey, is that commitment to your business and yourself and your own growth in learning. And we'll talk a little bit about the importance of a willingness to make a mistake and a willingness to fail. And all of you, with your kiddos, do you get upset with them, or, do you get frustrated with them when they trip and they fall? No, because they're learning to walk. So even the failure of being able to walk, which of course it's not a failure, it's learning. And as adults, we forget that. We forget that beginner's mind. We forget that it is actually important for us to make mistakes and learn from them. Otherwise, we're not going to be growing as business people. So I want to plant that seed now. We'll be coming back to it again and again, because growth can be hard. It can be scary. It can be painful. It can be really, really exciting. And we're here to support you in cultivating this space where making a mistake, saying something that may not sound correct, is totally permissible. And we actually encourage that, because it's how we all learn. So I want to take that off the table of you have to be perfect and you have to do things right in this class. It's about learning and asking questions if you don't understand something. And we all hold, every one of us who are in the instruction role here or supportive role, hold that value paramount. So please know that we have your back. We believe deeply in the work that you're doing and understand from a societal standpoint how important it is. So I just want to, first of all, congratulate you all for taking the first step in showing up today and being willing to learn and share with each other where you are with your business.
I have something to say. I'm so sorry to
No,
interrupt.
that's fine.
My daughter just had a positive COVID-19 test yesterday. So I closed my childcare, and I have a virtual appointment at 6:30 that I didn't have a choice to put a different time. So that is at 6:30. I have to go for as long as this virtual appointment go. In case, in order for them to give me a test, I had to do this with the urgent care. They have to do this first. Is that okay? I'll be back as soon as I'm done with the.
So of course, and I'm sorry to hear about your situation. And you all, this is your learning and your course. So coming in and out as you need in order to take care of yourself. That's number one. Take care of yourself and your family. So that's fine to hop off and hop back in. And
Okay,
yeah, no
thank you.
problem, Khadija. Yeah.
Thank you.
So before we move on to the next part of our, I just wanted to, the next part of our session tonight, I did want to thank all of you who returned the questionnaires. So we don't prescribe necessarily a rigid curriculum until we actually see where all of you are in your journey in your business. So we have everything from like first year as a provider to people who have 20 plus years of experience as home child care providers. We have a wide range of experience and knowledge about business. So I just want to acknowledge that we do our best to match up the curriculum for where you are. But if you all need extra help or interpretation or any kind of assistance with any of the concepts, let us know, because we're all available for one-on-one coaching, and we'll go into that a bit more. Dawn is our childcare consultant, but also Hannah, John, and myself are also available, and Jackie as well. I'll let her introduce herself here in a bit when we do introductions. So are there any questions before we move on to the next section?
Good.
Okay. So, I gave the whole speech on failure and beginner's mind and tripping. So screen sharing in Zoom is my tripping and falling. I don't know how many times I've tried to do this and I still am never sure what you guys are seeing. Okay, so I touched on this, that you all are entrepreneurs, and being an entrepreneur is basically what you guys have already been doing, which is a juggling act, right? So know that any entrepreneur or business person deals with multiple plates, multiple balls in the air, and feelings of overwhelm. And what do I focus on first? So as we're introducing a lot of material to you all, know that, oh yeah, here's the overwhelm. I'm feeling this. I don't know what to do next. This feels really important. I need to get business insurance. I need to talk to a CPA. So just take a breath, say, oh yeah, overwhelm. Here it is. I'm going to call Dawn because she's going to help me figure out what comes first. What is the most important thing on my plate to deal with first? So just expect it and welcome that overwhelm, because that means you're learning.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and this is, oh, okay, this is the slide that I like. Okay, so know also, because I'm big on metaphors and I'm big on images in thinking about business, is that as you take your business maybe a little seriously, or as you grow, know that there's going to be ups and downs, there's going to be learnings, and then there's going to be feeling like it's one step forward, two steps back. But know that you're learning, you're continuing to grow, even though it feels like maybe you're regressing. That's also very, very common in moving from, this is just a side gig for me, or a hobby, into a full-fledged business to be taken seriously and to support you and your family if that's what your goal is. So this is what we're trying to do, is set some expectations and to not get discouraged if, again, you feel like it's that overwhelm or it's that roller coaster dive, which sounds like this week was kind of a challenging week for a lot of folks. We're going to be challenging you to go outside your comfort zone. And I want to talk about comfort zone because it's a little bit of a cliche. And it's not all about busting out of it and like, I've got to take all of these risks to be successful. What we want to do is we want to differentiate your comfort zone, which is where you feel safe and you're secure and you have all the answers. And yeah, I could kind of do this in my sleep. know that that's important to rest in one's comfort zone for a while, but growth happens that next circle out, which is where you're taking risks, which is where you're falling. Like we're talking about the toddlers who are tripping and falling and learning. And this is where change and transformation can happen. Only you know where those edges of your comfort zone are. We will not tell you, and we have no way of knowing because everyone is different. But what we're going to be doing is encouraging you to challenge beliefs, assumptions, and really stretch yourself, because again, this is a safe playground for you guys, a sandbox, if you will, to really just try things out on for size and, be willing to look silly, maybe even. The panic zone is just, you'll know when you're there. It's like, okay, I'm not sleeping at night. I've taken on too much risk. I need to go back into this place where I can feel like I'm really growing. Do you know the person that can help you with maybe coming to those conclusions? Dawn Alexander, as a consultant, can help you. We really want you guys to take us up on the consulting, but she can help you with the emotional ups and downs as part of growing your business as well. So I just want to identify a couple of sort of phantom beliefs that we've come up against, and it happens with every entrepreneur, is like these beliefs are truths that we believe are self-evident. So for example, some resistance may come up for you if you're thinking about maybe increasing your rates. And then just listen to the voice. Oh, I can't increase my rates because my families will leave. I'll be too expensive compared to my competition. They won't be able to take me seriously. I'll price myself out of the market. I mean, you may be fine with that, and you may not even want to increase your rates, but listen to the voices that come up. I can't change my pricing structure. You'll hear Dawn talk later about having simplified pricing models. I can't change the way that I charge for infants versus toddlers versus preschool because I've been doing it the same way forever, and it's just too hard to change. You know what? We may nudge you to that edge of your comfort zone just to take a look at it and reaffirm it if that's what is up for you. Policies, absentee policies. I can't take a vacation. You know what? We're going to challenge you on that. You're at the center of your business, and your self-care and nurturing is as important as the toys that you buy, as the food that you serve. We're going to really encourage you to apply for any grants and any kind of financial resources that can help you, especially now over COVID. There is money that is out there, and especially those of you in Thornton, talk to John. Because if you're an established business, there are grants that are available now. And we are doing our best to stay on top of a lot of those financial resources available to businesses. So we want you to be on top of that. If you feel like your finances are disorganized, I've been putting my receipts in a shoebox forever and I just rely on my CPA to figure things out. Great, if that works for you. But if you're up at night, like wondering where you are with your money, that might not be a very healthy practice for you. So we can help you get organized with your finances. No judgment around the shoebox if you're fine with that. But some folks like to have a little bit more control and awareness of where they are on a monthly basis. Number one that we leave last, because it's often what we put at the bottom of the list, is taking care of ourselves. So it's an overused cliche about the oxygen mask coming down, but seriously, you guys are at the center of your business. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of your business and your family. So putting yourself first, oftentimes for those in the caregiving profession, falls in that risk zone. I gotta take care of everyone else before I take care of myself. And we're going to very gently encourage you to challenge that assumption if that is a familiar tune that you sing to yourself. So we always go over agreements for our class. The SBDC is required to keep all of your information confidential. Anything that is said in this class shared with each other, we are bound to confidentiality. So if you share financial information, we get a federal grant. We cannot, that can't be shared, and we ask you not to share as well. So let's keep the space sacred for building trust and sharing. Unless asked for, I don't think you guys are gonna fall prey to this, but just make sure that if you're giving advice that you ask if it's wanted and welcome. I think it sounds like everyone is really hungry for learning, but just be respectful of boundaries and space. Be present, which is, be in the moment, be listening, fully listening to what folks are saying so that you can really give authentic feedback. Step up, step back. If you're a person that tends to not talk or share or be the last one to raise your hand, get in the sandbox and experiment with being the first person to raise your hand and to offer feedback or to ask a question. So take a little bit of a risk. So if you're a bit more of a shy or an introvert, awesome. But let's stretch that boundary if you want to. Alternatively, those who are maybe a little bit more participatory, just experiment with holding space for those who may be less, maybe a little more shy. So John's going to talk about this a little bit more, but this class is eligible for credit for PDIS accreditation. There are requirements, which is attendance. And I hate to be like a school marm here, but we do need you guys to show up for class. And if you can't make a class, we do have some requirements for watching the video and doing the homework. And we do have quizzes. But they're fun and silly and goofy, and we do cover important material, but John is the maestro of the quiz creation. So it's nothing to worry about. They aren't going to be graded, but we do want to make sure you're at least consuming the material that we're providing. And then we do need you as part of our grant, because this program is grant funded, which is why it's free, for you to make at least one session, consulting session with Dawn. So plug number 3 in 10 minutes, but it is required for our grant that you get that one-on-one coaching. So we want to make sure that you're getting that assistance. So I want to take a pause here. Is there anything else from within the group that anyone else feels is important in terms of a commitment to each other, or that you need from us as instructors? Okay, so I'm going to take silence as a yes, that we all agree to these agreements. And I think, real quickly, let me just talk about what we're going to be covering. So today is just introductions. Our second session, we're starting to get into money. So we're going to be looking at understanding how to budget, and also how to maximize your revenues. And we're going to look at some kind of simple models that can help you envision ways in which to bring in more money. So it might be charging more, but there are lots of other ways of maximizing your revenues. On session 3, we're going to be looking at the other side of the income statement, which is expenses, minimizing your expenses. So at the end of sessions 2 and 3, you should have a good understanding of your potential revenues and expenses and your bottom line. So all of you by the end of session 3 should know what your monthly net income is, and we will walk you every step of the way on that process. We're going to have someone come in and talk to you about business insurance. So your homeowner's policy, many of you may think that it's covering you. In these COVID times, we want to make sure that you're managing your risk. That is a financial topic. So we're having an insurance broker come in and give a talk. Session 4 is, are you an LLC? Are you a sole proprietor? Do you not know? all of those are perfectly valid, but we want you to be in the best legal and tax structure that you can be for your organization. So we can help you actually make those changes if you decide you want to go from a sole prop to an LLC. And there are reasons why you may want to consider doing that. So we'll go through that in session 4. 5 is we'll go over marketing if you want a new website or increase the power of the site that you own. We can help you with that. Social media, and also the state has offered to bring in licensing experts. So we can have a guest speaker there to talk about any questions that you have on the licensing side. Session 6 is graduation. It's a party, woo! And we have, and we have fun. We just had one last week for the last class.
And we have margaritas that day.
What's that?
Do we have margaritas that day?
You can drink whatever you want, Jenny. Seriously. I mean, I'm drinking tea, but we're not going to check what's in your glasses. So you can drink whatever you want. And that's really it. We have a couple of, this will be on, these are the, your homework for this week is we have an article that we want you to read. We'll show you how to access that. We want you to introduce yourself on our course website so that you know how to navigate that and then take the session 1 quiz. So that is it for me. Let me stop sharing. There we go. Any questions on any of that? Jenny?
So, yeah, well, I'm actually excited because I have been getting so much email about grants.
Yeah.
And after COVID, I was okay with kids, but after COVID, I'm being booked. And that's one question I'm being letting all the grants go by because I'm afraid to apply for. And I'm actually excited to get to this point because I want to know that if I qualify or I'm out. So I've been deleting them all, but I don't know.
Dawn, do you have anything to say about that?
There it goes. So I think Energize Colorado just closed. That would have been a good one. And if they open up again, you need to apply for it.
I was going to, but I feel like it's more for the people who has not kids.
You're thinking it has to do for a business and you're not considering yourself a business.
Well, I did have, and I was like, this is more for the people who has no kids. I feel guilty to taking something away from some other people. So I'm like, no. And I finished the last, without lying, the last 6 questions, I'm like, this is not for me. So I need advice on that because I've been dumping, I've been deleting every email. And I've been passing it on Luisa and Phila and all that. But I feel that I'm doing good, but should I apply or should not? So I just delete, but that's my point. So I'm excited.
Here's the thing though, Jenny, like we all know that COVID's not going away tomorrow, right? And we have no idea how long it is here to stay. And just between me coming from the health department to my home in Loveland, so half an hour's drive, I had 2 calls on my work phone, one from a center that ended up having to close down 2 classrooms because a teacher was positive, and another from a home because her own child is positive. And so now they're looking at 2 weeks of no tuition, right? Because they don't have it to where the parents are paying during that time period. And so they're losing out on all of that revenue. And so even if you're doing okay right now, if you can capture a grant that's going to reimburse you for some of the financial loss that you have had during COVID at different points, or the increases in costs that you've had to pay, you can take that money and put it into a savings account as a buffer in case you have to close down for some reason, right?
Okay, John and Hannah, do you guys want to do the last little bit here before we let folks go on accessing course materials?
You betcha. You betcha. Okay, so we're going to have 6 sessions, as Angela mentioned. They are from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday evenings like this. We also have a course website set up that's open 24 hours a day. And I'm going to show you how you can log into the website and see the materials that we have posted to read and study, and then access your homework assignments sometimes. And then we'll also be posting the videos of each class. So if you were to miss a class, you can go to the course website, access the video, and make up the class by watching that video, making a session with Dawn. And then finally, we have a quiz every week. And as Angela mentioned, the quiz is not hard. It's quite silly, but it's a way that we can verify that you learn the material. And that's really so that we can get you the credit for this course from Colorado Shines PDIS. So I'm going to share my screen here and show you the website. Here we go. All right. You see in bright colors? Looks good. Great. So we will send you an email that has the web address, but as you can see, it's northmetrosbdc.myintranet.com. And you'll need to log in. You each will have a unique profile that you can use. The username is going to be your first name. And I have a test profile that I use. My alter ego is Gianni. And then the password for this course is going to be child care. So you just type in child care. And if you want to check this box, it should remember all that for next time. So when you sign into the course website, this is what you're going to see. And a couple features that are important. If you ever need to go back, if you get lost in any feature and you're sort of, oh no, where am I? Then you can always push this SBDC logo in the top left corner. It'll take you right back to home. So that's good to know. It should have a picture of just a blank person, like down here. You can see people who haven't uploaded a photo. It will just have a blank photo. If you want to upload a photo of yourself, you can. I'll show you how to do that. And then it'll say good morning or good afternoon or good evening and welcome to the course. We have a discussion board here, and we would encourage you all to go ahead and use the discussion board as a place to put questions to each other, questions for us. At any point, you can type in a question here. You can just say hello to everybody. You can upload documents and so forth, but that's a nice place to communicate. And then when you want to see the actual material for the week, you're going to use this little cap and gown sign here that says access your course. Sometimes we'll post events that might be of interest to you down here as well. So let's see what happens when we hit access your course. Very good. Right now, the only courses that we have are a resource library that has a whole bunch of different things that you can read if you're very bored and you've got extra time and you're thinking, oh, I want to see if there's a book about this. We have a whole bunch of resources in there. And then this is session 1. This is the material from this week. And it's kind of weird that it says session 1, even though this, this website considers this a whole course, but that's just the name that they assign it. So when I click on session 1, it comes to this week's material. And because I've already been in here, it doesn't have this very important button, but we'll send you an email reminder. There's going to be a button down here that says enroll on this course. And you have to click that button to unlock the material. Everything will be sort of grayed out and you'll click it and it will say, you don't have access. And you do have access as soon as you just push this button that says enroll on this course. So try to remember that. And if you don't, we can help you.
John, are you expecting us to remember all you said. For me, no, I will not
We're
remember
gonna send you
everything.
some. We'll send you some notes. We have sort of a
Yeah.
note sheet that'll talk.
Thank you, thank you.
That is in the chat. I just put that in the chat so everyone can see. There's a Word document called Course Website
Oh.
One Pager. So that has the
Okay.
layout that John first went over on that main page, just some of those buttons and where to navigate for those. It explains that. And it also has a screenshot of that enroll button that you'll need to hit. So you can see what that will look like. So you can download that document from the chat.
Awesome. I took like 15 pictures, screenshots, so I can follow whatever I can.
That's great. That's great. And it will be a little bit, your first time might be a little frustrating, but the more you play with it, you'll see it's not too hard. So in session 1, we have 4 modules that you can look at. They call them modules, whatever, 4 articles. The first one is the fixed versus growth mindset that Angela mentioned. That one we do want you to read. So we're going to consider that one a mandatory for this week. The following 2, this ECPAC Family Child Home Planning Guide and the Colorado Business Startup, those are extra. You don't have to do those, but they could be useful for you if you've got some questions about business basics and you want to kind of study ahead for the next few weeks. And then we mentioned the quiz, and once you've read this article here, you'll need to click that you've completed that module, and then you can take the quiz, and we will get a little notice that says, yay, you've completed the material for this week. And so we can mark you off. There's 6 sessions, and in order to get credit for this course, you will have to do all 6 quizzes and be present for all 6 classes in order to get that credit. And as we mentioned, if you miss a class, you can make it up, but you only have that week to make it up. You can't miss 2 in a row and start banking missed time. So if you miss a week, then what we're going to ask you to do is to watch the video, which will also appear on this website, and we'll email it to you as well. And then book a session with Dawn so that we know that you've gotten the material from that week. So that's the course website. Every week when you go to that, go back to the home. Every week when you go to this access your course button, there will be a new session that pops up. So there'll be a session 2, session 3, session 4, and so forth. The last thing that I want to show you is this button here. If we give you a homework assignment and you wish to turn it in for some feedback, that's up to you. We'll give you the homework assignment on a Thursday, and we will ask that if you're going to turn it in to us, that you turn it in by the end of the day on the following Monday. That way we have a day or 2 to look at it, read it, give you some feedback on it before the next session. And you can do that with this button here. So when you hit this upload assignment button, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. And instead of a folder that says prior students, it'll pull up a folder that has your name, and you'll be able to use this to upload some files. And there's no files that you'll need to upload this week. So the first time that we have some files for you to upload, we'll revisit this and I'll give you a demo of that. So you don't need to really worry about that for this week. Any other questions on the course website?
John, I think in that discussion board, there's a interesting post that might be just down. Oh yeah, that one. That's a pretty interesting one about our Facebook page.
Look at that. Yeah, if you haven't liked us on Facebook, we would really appreciate it if you did that. That helps to boost our range a little bit. And we also are creating a childcare provider group, and we can invite you to that as soon as you like our page. That'll sort of connect you and allow us to let you into that group. And that's another great place where you can participate in some discussion, ask questions from each other. And Hannah, correct me if I'm wrong, but from prior course attendees as well, they'll be able to talk to those folks. So it's a nice resource to get into that group. And you can use this link right here, or if you're just playing around on Facebook, you can just search for North Metro Denver SBDC, and that'll pull us up as well.
Thanks, John.
You betcha.
And that is a private page, you guys. So you'll be in the same room as other providers in Adams County. You can ask any questions or, you know, coordinate buying toilet paper or something. It's a great resource. There's about 10 providers who are in it now, I think, maybe, I don't, potentially. So you guys take advantage of that. You'll be in it for as long as you want to. So that's another way that you can talk to each other if you're a Facebook user. Sorry, Hannah, go ahead and keep on trucking.
Yeah, I can. Was that all you had, John, or did you want to go over anything else?
That's good for me.
Okay, great. Well, I will show you all. Do you see this SBDC page?
Yeah.
Great. So this is, you might see at the top that it has Dawn's name specifically. This is where you can go to schedule an appointment directly with Dawn to talk about all of your questions and guidance and next steps, whatever it may be. So this is through our website, and I will put this link in the chat so you can just go directly there to make an appointment. And you can see her availability here. So step number 1 is to choose availability. And you can use this to navigate to the next week to see what she might have, you know, something this week doesn't work for you. You can see what she has. We're a little farther into November here. So that's why there weren't any more times available there. But you can use these bars to navigate to whatever week works best for you. And then once you click a time, you would put in your information here. There we go. In your information, that's step number 2, complete appointments. And there you're already scheduled. You can even add it to your calendar right there. You will get automated reminders to your email that will also have Dawn's information. You know, if something comes up at the very last minute and you need to get a hold of her, that will be in that email, or if you need to reschedule or anything like that, we'll also have the Zoom link to join. So that it's just step 1, 2, 3, easy as that to get an appointment scheduled with Dawn. And if you do have any questions or any troubles with that, you know, doing that online, you can always give me a call and we can walk through that to get you set up. They are free, like we mentioned, one-on-one, and all happening remotely, virtually right now. So, and just another view of our Facebook page in case you are if you're wondering if you're on the right one. For the North Metro Denver SBDC, this is what it looks like. You know, if you were logged in, you wouldn't see all of this, but you can just come to this page and like it, and that way I can invite you to the group for the childcare providers if you are interested. And a great way to find this page also is you've probably received some emails from me. In my email signature, there's a Facebook logo, and you can click that and it will take you directly to this page in case you have any trouble finding it. So that's how to get scheduled, how to find our Facebook page. And if you are, Angela mentioned our workshops that we have. If you're looking for other resources, you can come to our website. It's northmetrosbdc.com. And you can play around in all these different tabs up on top, but this resources tab takes you to our video library where you can see past recordings of our webinars and all of these other great resources that can be helpful to your business.
Thank you so much. And we will see you next week. You'll get an email from us tomorrow. Thank you.